Hey, and welcome to the Megan Waldrop podcast. I'm your host, Megan, and I'm so happy to spend time with you today. If you're new here, welcome. We're so happy to have you. And if you've been here before, you know I love you and I love this time that we have together. And this is going to be a mini episode. And I want to share about how come it feels like I'm going backwards when I'm starting on this self improvement journey, when I'm doing all the things that I can possibly do and I'm committed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do, I'm just naming things. This is not anything that anybody has to do. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to yoga. I'm going to journal every day. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to ground. I'm going to, name every possible self improvement thing that you got out there. But when I start, I feel like I'm even worse than I was before. Been there when I started meditating years ago. This, oh my gosh, over 13 years ago now, over 13, about 13, 13, 14 anyway, doesn't matter. When I began meditating, at first, I was like, okay, I got this. And the book that got me into meditating was The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Highly recommend this book, changed my life. I know you've heard about this book before, I'm sure. If you haven't, it's so worth the read. It's just a beautiful way to just open your eyes in a new perspective. And it was a great jumpstart for me. So I began to meditate. And then I got deeper into my meditation practice. I would go, when I moved to California, I found a meditation group in my sweet little town of Carpinteria every Wednesday. The Carpinteria Women's Center had a meditation group, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was probably about 15 people. And the two people who led the group, it was under the Shambhala Buddhist tradition, which is or Tibetan Buddhism. If I have this correct, I might not have this correctly, but it is more of a Buddhist background. They are now two of my dear friends. But I go to this meditation. They had the pillows set up, and it wasn't guided in the sense of, it wasn't a spoken meditation. It was silent, but you would sit for 20 minutes. You would do I think it was like a 10-minute walking meditation, and then you would sit down for another 20 minutes, and we would have a little snacks and discussion afterwards. And so when I started practicing with them, I was so excited. And then I just felt like I didn't know what the F I was doing anymore. I felt like I was sitting there and my mind was racing. And it felt like it was even worse than before I had started meditating. And I thought, am I failing at this? Am I failing at self improvement? Am I failing at meditation? And I brought this up to my meditation teachers, and they said, that's exactly how it's supposed to go, in the sense of the only reason that it feels like it's getting worse is because you're actually being quiet enough to have it all come up. And I thought, oh, wow. Okay. So this is how this works. The self improvement. It's not a 5-minute hack. This is an investment. This is something that you practice every single day as much as you can in any kind of form. This isn't saying I was meditating for an hour and a half every single day, but it was the noticing of that and knowing that there's no shame around it, which was super confusing at first. And even in Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, I remember there's a passage that said something like, it hurt coming into your body, it hurt coming in, so it's going to hurt coming out. And that was profound to me, in the sense of, oh yeah, this is the work. This is the work that people don't want to do, because it can be scary in the sense of facing yourself and whatever that means, but being quiet with your mind, being quiet to even understand that you are not your mind, that you're not your thoughts, you're separate from your thoughts, to continuously remind yourself this over and over and over again is the work. That is the work. It's not physical labor. It can feel like physical labor, though. You can feel friggin' exhausting when you're working on this, but eventually it does get easier. And I wondered about this recently too, because I was having one of these moments where I felt like, oh man, I'm really, I'm grooving in I just said grooving, y'all. I just said grooving. I am flowing. I'm grooving in my breath work. I feel like I'm really embodied in this. I'm excited to teach this. I'm doing workshops, doing corporate sessions. And then recently, my breath work meditation sessions I felt like I was going backwards again. And I had to remember, okay, this is part of the journey. And of course, as synchronicities happen, I saw a video with Daryl Anka, who's a writer, a channeler, a fascinating human being, who was talking about this, about why it feels like you're going backwards. And he gave more of a visual than my meditation teachers gave. And he said that whenever you're doing self improvement or you're going on this journey of awakening or growth or whatever you want to call it that feels good for you, we don't have to go down all the languages, but it's like you're going into these really high highs, like you're going up this really steep hill, and then it feels like you're going, whoa, way back and down into the valley. And you're going up these steep hills and you're going way back in the valley. Like this is the path of the self improvement. And if you see me on YouTube, I am doing the wave with my hands right now. But he explained it in a sense that really stuck with me. And I want to share this with you. So, this is the thing though. So, you're going up these steep hills and you're going down these deep valleys. And you're like, good Lord, I thought I was up at the top. Why am I still down at the bottom? But now I'm going to go back up and then I'm going back friggin' down. Like, why am I back down here? But the way he explained it is that you're trending upwards. You're going up and you're going down, but the next time you go back down, you're not going as far down as you were before. Okay. You're going up even higher, but then you go back down and you're not going down as far as you were before that. So you're constantly trending upward. It's still this wave motion, but you're going up. It's a wave motion that's like going up a hill. It's not a linear situation. It's a vertical. It's a vertical, like what do you call it? I know vertical is straight up and down, but you're going up. It's like you're waving up on a mountaintop, like you're going up, 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 up. Because you have to go back these deeper spots, is because this is giving you that perspective and it's giving you more awareness of, okay, you were at that top, you have more of this awareness, you have more of this growth and strength to see and witness yourself in a different way. So we're going to bring you back down to see how you react in this situation. And there's going to be a degree even more that you're not going to fall back into your old ways. You're constantly tweaking yourself. It's like you go back down to that area that has those emotions, but it's not going to be as intense in the sense of you now have the awareness to get yourself out of it again. So you're going to go back up that hill. And when you go back down, it's not going to be as deep as it was. It might feel like it, but it's just giving you a new perspective because this is building your muscle. This is like adding more weight to the bar so you can become stronger. I recently been going to the YMCA, which I love. I love the YMCA, by the way. It's amazing. It's it's so not intimidating to go there. All people of ages, abilities, it doesn't matter. There's so many classes. Highly recommend looking at the YMCA. But I go to these weightlifting classes at the Y, and that's what the teacher says. She's like, you start off using a weight that feels, like a medium weight. Then the next repetition you add more weight. And the next repetition, you add more weight. Like that is the whole point here, is that you want to become stronger. So you have to add more weight. And so that's how it feels when we're going on this spiritual journey. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm strong, but now I'm feeling weak again. But that's the whole thing. It's because we're putting more weight on so we can lift it and become stronger. We're doing the reps. So the next time we're like, oh, wait, now I'm at the top. I have the ability to carry more weight. So I'm going to go back down there. I'm going to deal with all these emotions, whatever's going on. But actually, now I'm even stronger and I have the ability to take this on and like let this come out of me in a way. It hurt to come in, it's going to hurt to come out, and not in a beautiful way, in a way that feels like a release, in a way that feels like a cleanse, in a way that feels like, thank effing God, I'm giving myself this time to do this. Thank you, Lord, that I'm giving myself this time to practice this every single day, even when I feel like I'm not doing it right, even when I feel like I'm failing. I know that I'm getting stronger because what else is there? I have to be. I'm here to improve myself. I'm not here to be where I was because I didn't want to be there. It sucked so bad. I was in the depths of depression or addiction or whatever it was for you. For me, it was both of those things. I don't want to go back there. So the only way out is through it. And how do we get through it? We just keep putting in the reps. We keep showing up for ourselves. Even when we feel like we're going backwards, we have to realize that we're not going backwards. We're just getting stronger every single freaking day. And what a gift it is when you're on top of that mountain, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing it. I feel so different than I did a week ago. I feel so much different than I did a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. And then next thing you know, it's been years, and you're like, wow, look what I've given myself. What a gift I gave myself to show up every day, even when I felt like I couldn't do it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we got this. And this is the work. It's the beautiful work, though. It's the work that we are here. We're able to do it. If we weren't able to do it, we just wouldn't. This is the evolution. This is our growth. This is what makes us appreciate our life any even more. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter when you start. You're never too late. You're never, ever, ever too late to start doing any of this. And I know it feels like, well, this is how I've been for 40 years or 50 years or 20, 30, 70. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like we still have the ability to bring ourselves out of those depths, of the deepest, deepest valleys, and keep climbing up these mountains, these other incredible valleys, these other high peaks. And that's the thing, though, if you visualize going up and down these mountains and these valleys, the upward climb, when you're on the top of the peak, it's such a beautiful perspective. You're like, wow, look how far, look how expansive, look how free I feel, look how beautiful this is. And when you're down in the valley too, you're like, wow, look how beautiful those mountains are. Look how freaking beautiful it is down here in its own way, its own beauty. When you're able to give yourself that time to just realize you are doing better than you think. You're progressing every single day. Even when you feel like you're not, you are. And I'm going to leave it on that. I just want to reiterate that you're always doing better than you think, that this progression is progression. It's not perfection. That is not what we're here for. That's not even realistic. Perfection is not real for human beings. And thank God, because that would be boring as hell, honestly. They say in the movies, if you want to create a character that everybody hates, make them perfect because it's just not realistic. You want the person that's tripping over themselves or spilling coffee on them or saying the wrong thing or, because it's more real because that's how we operate sometimes. That's just how it is. But yeah, the journey of self-improvement is not always easy. And that is why so many people don't do it. And that's why so many people give up. And I'm not shaming anybody. I totally understand why it could feel like that, how it can feel overwhelming. But there will come a time when you're going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're going to want to make a change for yourself. And the best way, and it's not even changing who you are as a person, it's becoming the person who you are inside, who you are deep down inside, and you know it. You're like, listen, I deserve better than this, that whatever I am putting up with or whatever I'm doing to myself, I know I can be that person. And let me tell you, I'm 44 years old. I could not even imagine at 30 years old that I would be the woman talking to you about this, that I would be a woman who didn't drink alcohol. I couldn't even imagine that. I thought my life would end with alcohol. I thought I would drown myself in a way. I never in a million years thought I would be able to not have that substance or any kind of drugs. Marijuana was even harder for me to get off of than alcohol. I've talked about that before too. People are like, how do you get addicted to marijuana? You do. It's called, if you have an addictive personality and it strokes a certain nerve for you, that's going to be your thing. And for me, I weaned off of alcohol with weed, and that was just trading one addiction for another. For me personally, I know for some people this is not the case, but for me that was. And it wasn't easy. And let me tell you, I would not go back I do not miss it at all. And I am so thankful that I can say that with all conviction. I do not miss it at all. I'm so thrilled to be here with you talking And if you do drink or you do smoke weed or eat edibles, whatever, I'm no judgment on you. This was just something that I personally could not handle in my life. I just couldn't. Oh, but let me tell you, the self-growth journey, it's a doozy, but man, it is so worth it. It is so worth it because next thing you know, like you're going to be on the other side. You're going to be at the top of that mountain going, holy crap, look how far I've come. I couldn't even imagine taking 2 steps up that mountain. And here I am, ranges away, looking back with such fondness at myself for even wanting to begin this journey. And know that you're not alone on this. Now that I'm more active within my wellness space, now that I'm a breathwork facilitator, I'm a Reiki master, I'm still a human being. I still have challenges. I still have anxieties about things. I'm not saying that everything I have it all figured out. I'm just here to share that you're not alone. I'm not alone. And that we can get through this together, knowing that we're all just doing our friggin' best. We're all just doing our best. And if we feel like we're stumbling, that's okay. Dust it off and keep moving because that's what we're here for. All right. I feel that that was it. If I could just keep going and crying, but I feel like no, we're gonna let's just end it there. I would love if you're open to sharing about your journey. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to have you on the podcast too if you want to talk about what obstacles you've overcome, challenges, what's happened, helped for you, what's been helpful for you. If you're in the wellness space, I'd love to ask, I always am interested to learn how people go into the wellness space. Maybe I need to talk about more of that on my own story, but I know people ask me, like, how did you decide to go here? How did you decide to start this new career? So if you're in that space, I would love to talk to you about it too. So let's talk about it. If not, it's all good. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're on YouTube right now, I'm waving to you. I'm so happy that you showed up. Thanks for being here. And we'll hang out again next week on the Megan Waldrop podcast. Until then.